Good evening, everyone. We'll start shortly. Okay, so welcome all in our weekly webinar, Market Masterclass with Religare. In this webinar, we talk about the market performance during the week, a quick snapshot of the sectoral performance, Nifty 50 gainers, losers, and then view for the next week on both Nifty and the banking index, some of the stocks which one should track for the coming week on both long and short side. And then we end the session with a quick feedback poll. Post that feedback, you can ask any questions using that Q&A button that is in front of your screen. So any sector that you wish to know more, any particular theme that you wish to explore, we can definitely talk during the Q&A session. तो आप सभी का स्वागत है हमारे वीकली वेबिनार में। और जैसा कि आप जानते हैं, कुछ लोग जो नए हैं उनके लिए, कि मार्केट्स की परफॉर्मेंस इस हफ्ते कैसी रही, उसका एक छोटा सा ब्यौरा, और उसके बाद फिर हमारी ज्यादातर बात ये होगी कि मार्केट में क्या एंटिसिपेटेड है आने वाले हफ्ते में, कौन से सेक्टर्स पे फोकस करें, कौन से स्टॉक्स पे फोकस करें, ये सब चीजें बातें करेंगे अगले आधे घंटे में। एंड करेंगे सेशन एक फीडबैक पोल के साथ, और उसके बाद कोई भी क्वेरी है अगर आपकी, तो क्यूएनए सेशन, क्यूएनए जो बटन है आपकी स्क्रीन पे, उसको आप यूज करते हुए अपना सवाल को पूछ सकते हैं क्यूएनए सेशन के टाइम पे। तो स्टार्ट करते हैं वेबिनार विद डिस्क्लेमर फर्स्ट दैट इट्स नॉट अ इन्वेस्टमेंट और अ ट्रेडिंग रिकमेंडेशन, सो बिफोर मेकिंग एनी डिसीजन बेस्ड ऑन द इंफॉर्मेशन शेयर्ड, प्लीज चेक विद योर फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजर। तो ये कोई भी वेबिनार का जो पर्पस है ये है कि आप प्रिपेयर करें, एक ब्रॉडर आपको एक पिक्चर मिल जाए कि किस तरीके से मार्केट का व्यू है और क्या एंटिसिपेटेड है। बट जो ट्रेडिंग और इन्वेस्टमेंट जो है आपकी, वो अपने फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजर के साथ बात करके ही आप करें। So this is the snapshot for the week. So if you'll see the index, the benchmark indices, you will say nothing much has happened on that front. Means both Nifty and Sensex ended with a cut of nearly 0.5%. Sectoral front, FMCG, IT, they could manage to end the green. Rest of the pack, realty, energy, media, auto, financials, they were among the top losers. Talking about the Nifty 50 gainers, top 5 gainers, Wipro, Kotak Bank, Ultratech Cement, Britannia, Grasim. So a couple of names from the cement basket, and then rest from the other sectors as well. On the losing side, post numbers, Trend, SBI Life, Dr. Reddy's, Adani Ports, Tata Motors, all they've shed in the range of 6 to 11%. So ये पूरे वीक का लेखा जोखा कि क्या हुआ पूरे हफ्ते में, अगर इसको देखना, उसमें केवल एक मिड कैप और स्मॉल कैप का नहीं है, वहां पे डेफिनेटली प्रेशर ज्यादा रहा। तो अगर आप बेंचमार्क इंडाइसेस को देखेंगे, निफ्टी और सेंसेक्स को, तो आपको लगेगा कंसोलिडेशन ही हुआ है, कुछ खास हुआ नहीं, आधे % के कट। तो बिल्कुल सही है कि इंडेक्स में यही देखने को मिला है, इंडेक्स में कुछ खास हुआ नहीं, आधे % के कट के साथ ही बंद हुए। सेक्टोरल फ्रंट पे बट आपको पिक्चर ज्यादा नजर अच्छी आएगी कि आईटी और एफएमसीजी के अलावा ज्यादातर सारे सेक्टर्स आपको नेगेटिव साइड पे नजर आएंगे। रियल्टी, एनर्जी, मीडिया, ऑटो, फाइनेंशियल, ये सभी के सभी में आपने प्रेशर देखा। गेनर्स लूजर्स, इसमें भी आपको आईटी जैसे कि सेक्टर में गेनिंग गेनर्स में रहा, तो वहां पे विप्रो आपको टॉप गेनर्स में रखेगा दिखेगा, और कोटक बैंक सरप्राइज एलिमेंट फ्रॉम द बैंकिंग बास्केट, एंड देन कपल ऑफ नेम्स फ्रॉम द सीमेंट बास्केट जो कि आपने पॉजिटिव साइड पे देखे। और लूजिंग साइड पे ज्यादातर नाम जो कि रिजल्ट्स के बाद जिनमें रिएक्शन आया, चाहे वो ट्रेंट हो, एसबीआई लाइफ हो, डॉक्टर रेड्डीज हो, इन सब में रिजल्ट्स के बाद जो रिएक्शन आया, इसकी वजह से इसमें काफी प्रेशर देखने को मिला। तो ये है पूरे वीक का मार्केट का पिक्चर। अब क्या एंटिसिपेटेड है उस पर ज्यादा बात करेंगे हम। सो ये है डेली ग्राफ, दिस इज द डेली ग्राफ ऑफ निफ्टी इंडेक्स, एंड लास्ट वीक वी वर हियर, right? And you said this is just a normal consolidation or a pause, and that might eventually end up extending lower. So it didn't you know decline or progress the way we anticipated. It was again a week of consolidation this time also. So means after spending almost a week in a tight range, this week also turned out to be the same one. But during this consolidation, the levels that we have mentioned, if you'll go back and see our last week video, you'll realize that uh, both the levels, the first area of resistance and support, Nifty couldn't even touch those areas. Means on the higher side, 23,500, 700 was the zone basically, which we have discussed last time being the key hurdle. And as you can see on the screen, this yellow line, right? This is the 20 days of exponential moving average. So that was the last week. It was placed around 23,500. This week it has shifted to 23,450. So that's the now the immediate resistance. And this 200 days, this red line is at 23,650. It was earlier at 23,700. So this will continue to be the key area of resistance. Till yesterday, the last 2 days were okay, means markets were making attempt, but it was not decisive. So until, let's say, until we reclaim this yellow line, forget about reversal, a rebound is also not possible. So for next week also, our view is negative on market for the index, though the pace of decline is less and it is fine, but the tone is negative, right? Downside again, 22,700, 22,900, that will be the area of supports, right? देखिए मार्केट में लास्ट वीक जो हमने बात की थी निफ्टी के, वो लेवल सेम रहे, उसमें कोई चेंज नहीं है, बस थोड़ा रेजिस्टेंस शिफ्ट हुए हैं नीचे की तरफ। लास्ट वीक जब हमने बात की थी कि 23,500 700 को क्रॉस करना बहुत मुश्किल होगा, तो उतना तो अटेम्प्ट भी नहीं किया। 23,450 अब 23,650 बन गया है, जो कि मेजर रेजिस्टेंस बन गया है नेक्स्ट वीक के लिए मार्केट में। डाउन साइड पे सेम, ये जो रेड लाइन आप देख पा रहे हैं, ये करीब 22,700, थोड़ा ऊपर शिफ्ट हुई है ये भी। 22,900 से लेकर 700 का बड़ा जो जोन है, ये आपको डाउन साइड पे सपोर्ट के लिए रहेगा, राइट? सो इंडेक्स, खासतौर से अगर मैं निफ्टी की बात करूं, दैट इज नॉट अ बिग इशू, स्पेशली इन अ मार्केट लाइक दिस अभी तक। बट यस, टोन नेगेटिव है, इसको आपको ध्यान रखना। नाउ लेट्स टॉक अबाउट बैंकिंग. So banking also, like what we discussed last week, again means on every other day, it's also making an attempt of recovery, but 49,500, this zone, this yellow line, we've reached closer to that mark in the last week also, but we couldn't touch or surpass. That clearly shows that intermediate bounce is just a short covering or opportunity again to initiate fresh shorts is what the markets are currently showcasing. Same hold true for banking index also, that we've inched closer to the 20 EMA and then we eventually ended lower. So this index also ended almost in a flat note, but the tone is likely to remain negative until we reclaim this yellow line, that is 49,500. Downside 47,300, 46,400, like what we discussed last week, that will continue to be the area of support for the index. तो देखिए लास्ट वीक अगर आपको याद होगा कि हमने ये बात की थी कि इस कंसोलिडेशन रेंज, जो ये रेंज आप देख पा रहे हैं, इस रेंज के ब्रेकडाउन के बाद बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग रिकवरी आना इट सीम्स अनलाइकली। तो 49,500 और 50,400 का जोन है, हमने बात की थी कि ये एक स्ट्रॉन्ग रेजिस्टेंस होंगे। तो आप पहले रेजिस्टेंस के पास जाके घूम के वापस आ गए। और जो बैंकिंग मेजर्स में भी अगर बात करें तो केवल कोटक, जो कि आपने स्क्रीन पे भी देखा आपने कि टॉप गेनर्स में रहा, ज्यादातर बाकी सारे बैंकिंग के नाम प्रेशर में रहे, इंक्लूडिंग आईसीआईसीआई, जो कि लास्ट वीक हमने बात की थी कि वो नेगेटिव साइड पे आपको दिख रहा है जिस तरीके से उसकी क्लोजिंग है। अब आईसीआईसीआई के नंबर्स हैं, उसका रिएक्शन देखने को मिलेगा हमको आने वाले सेशंस में, ऑब्वियसली ये इंपॉर्टेंट रहेगा। बट टोन नेगेटिव है बैंकिंग का, अभी भी वही दिख रहा है आने वाले टाइम के लिए भी। तो जब तक 49,500, 49 1500 को हम जब तक ब्रेक करके क्लोज नहीं करते हैं तब तक बैंकिंग में भी डाउनसाइड का रिस्क रहेगा। 45, 346, 400 जो हमने पहले बात की थी वो एरिया ऑफ सपोर्ट होंगे। राइट, सो ये रहा हमारा व्यू अपना दोनों ही की इंडेक्स पे, निफ्टी और बैंकिंग पे। अब आते हैं स्टॉक्स पे। सो लास्ट वीक जो हमने बात की थी स्टॉक्स में, हमने ये कहा था कि मार्केट में टोन नेगेटिव है बट सारे स्टॉक सारे सेक्टर्स प्रेशर में नहीं है। तो इस टाइम पे बेसिकली टाइम ये है कि आपको अच्छे स्टॉक जहां पे स्ट्रेंथ दिख रही है उनको एक्यूमुलेशन के बारे में सोचना चाहिए। तो लास्ट वीक हमने बात की थी भारतीय एयरटेल की और एसआरएफ की। राइट, so this week also we feel that in a market like this wherein we are seeing correction, pockets which are holding strong, wherein we are seeing strength, that is something that one should utilize in a market like this to accumulate, so that in the next leg of the up move we expect the outperformance from these kind of counters. So first on the list we have Bajaj Finance. The result is scheduled on 29th, so obviously there could be some volatility. But as of now, if you'll see the last almost 3.5 years of consolidation in this stock, that clearly shows that every time we see a dip towards 7,000, 6,800, 7,000 zone, the stock witnesses buying interest, and more around 67, 6,500 zone. Means in this range of 6,500 to 7,000, buyers are very aggressive. They manage to hold the price. Right? In case if we manage to surpass this hurdle of 77.50, then eventually a new high 82.50 something that the stock might attempt. So especially in the market like this, wherein we are not sure of like how much more damage can happen, the focus should be more on the names wherein we have consistency in the trend or where we have multiple supports to look to. So Bajaj Finance is one stock wherein one can look to accumulate. Last week we have talked about Bharti Airtel, SRF. You can go back and see the performance on your own. This week, the first stock on the list is Bajaj Finance. Now let's talk about the next stock on the list, which is among the top losers also from the Nifty 50 basket. That is Tata Motors. So I keep on hearing queries around, the sector particularly, that how the auto is likely to progress. So when it comes to the sector, you'll see a different picture altogether. Means you'll have names wherein which are trading closer to their record highs or progressing well. Stock like Eicher, M&M, uh, Maruti, they all have done well. Eicher is definitely leading from the front. Others name they are also doing okay. But Tata Motors has been gradually drifting lower, and after almost 5-6 weeks of consolidation around this 100 EMA on the weekly charts, the way it ended on Friday, this indicates more pressure ahead. Right, so this red line, which is around 650, 660 area, is something that the stock might retrace to. देखिए, जैसे हमने तेजी में बात की बजाज फाइनेंस की कि जहां पे स्ट्रेंथ है, जहां पे कि प्राइस बहुत टाइटली रेंज में ट्रेड कर रहा है, वहां पे रिस्क कम होता है आपका बहुत बड़ा प्रेशर आने का। मींस उस पूरे सारे जोन के जितने भी बायर्स हैं उन सबको आपको अकोमोडेट करके फिर गिरना पड़ेगा। तो वो वाली सिचुएशन बहुत मुश्किल होती है कर पाना। वैसा ही अगर नेगेटिव साइड पे हो कि अगर अटेम्प्ट ही ना हो रहा हो रिकवरी का, और रिकवरी का अटेम्प्ट भी हो रहा है तो बहुत मार्जिनल अटेम्प्ट, तो वैसा ही कुछ पिक्चर है टाटा मोटर्स में कि जहाँ पे एक साइड पे आपको कुछ एक नाम है जहाँ पे कि स्ट्रॉन्ग रिकवरी है, स्टॉक अपने रिकॉर्ड हाइस के पास है, ये स्ट्रगल कर रहा है अपने 52 वीक लो के पास। और जिस तरीके से क्लोज हुआ ये फ्राइडे को करीब 6% के कट के साथ इस वीक में, इंडिकेशन ये है कि ये प्रेशर और एक्सटेंड हो सकता है। तो यहाँ पे ऐड ना करें अगर इफ यू हैव एनी एग्जिस्टिंग पोजीशन, बिकॉज इंडिकेशंस तो यही है कि 650 640 तक के लेवल्स यहाँ पे पॉसिबली आपको आने वाले टाइम में देखने को मिल सकते हैं। राइट, सो दिस इज द सेकंड स्टॉक इन द लिस्ट। थर्ड स्टॉक where the results are over, TCS. So IT as a sector, I feel that even if let's say market is corrects further and the level that we have been discussing about is 22,700, I feel that one particular sector which has edge over the others, irrespective of the recent underperformance, is IT. Right? So the kind of price action that we are seeing and the tight ranges that we are observing in most of these IT majors, Infosys, TCS particularly, this indicates that there could be further consolidation, but the downside seems capped. Means this is the time that one should look to accumulate IT majors, especially if you are looking only for the long trades, right? So the view should be more of like 1 month, 2 months, 3 month kind of a time horizon, even if you are looking for a positional trade, and use this market correction to accumulate these names. देखिए तीसरा नाम जो लिस्ट में है वो है टीसीएस का आईटी मेजर्स में. तो आईटी मेजर्स कंपैरेटिवली बेटर प्लेस्ड हैं और लास्ट वीक अगर आपको याद होगा तो वो सबसे ज्यादा जहां पे पिटाई हुई थी वो आईटी था. बावजूद इसके कि यहाँ पे रिकवरी काफी अच्छी हुई इस हफ्ते में और एक्सपेक्टेशन यही है कि ये मार्केट की गिरावट के साथ शायद रेंज में रहे, बट टोन पॉजिटिव रहेगा आने वाले टाइम में, या आउट परफॉर्मेंस रह सकती है आईटी में, इसके इंडिकेशन बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग. सो अलोंग साइड विद Bajaj Finance, TCS is also like which one can look to accumulate. So to sum it up, both indices view negative 22,700, 22,900, that's the support zone. Upside 23,450, 650 resistance area for the Nifty index. Banking 47,300, 46,400. Upside any rebound towards 49,500. Until we break that mark, the tone is likely to remain negative. Stock specific, Bajaj Finance, TCS, strong structures, Tata Motors, weak structure. राइट. तो देखिए मार्केट में जो इस तरीके का अभी सिनेरियो में इंडेक्स में तो बिल्कुल क्लियर व्यू है कि दोनों का ही बायस नेगेटिव है, निफ्टी का और बैंक निफ्टी का. और 23,650 और 49,500 ये दो लेवल आप ध्यान रखिए. जब तक इसके नीचे हैं तब तक मार्केट में तेजी या रिबाउंड, जो सस्टेन्ड रिबाउंड नहीं हो सकता मार्केट में. राइट. स्टॉक स्पेसिफिक, बट यस दोनों साइड पे अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिल रही है. स्टॉक स्पेसिफिक रहने की भी जरूरत है. आईटी एज ए सेक्टर थोड़ा ठीक लग रहा है, उसमें से टीसीएस और बजाज फाइनेंस फ्रॉम दी एनबीएफसी बास्केट जहाँ पे स्ट्रेंथ है, और वीकनेस साइड पे आपको टाटा मोटर्स को देखना है. So this is all from the presentation part. Now let's do a quick feedback poll and then we can start with the Q&A session. So please fill in your feedback and then we can start the Q&A session with your questions. All right, so we are almost done. So if you are also done with your feedback, you can start posting your questions using that Q&A button. कोई भी सवाल है आपका, आप पूछ सकते हैं Q&A बटन को प्रेस करने के साथ. तो let's start with Q&A now. Okay, so the first question from Mr. Ajay Gupta. So a feedback. Thank you for the informative session. Thank you, Mr. Gupta. And from where we can access the result estimates? Stocks are reacting as per the results, and ICICI is coming upon the weekend. What is your advice? So see, stock specific, so we usually don't comment until you are associated with us. So for result estimates, there's no particular as such website or area, but yeah, before the results means during the day of the results, you will keep on seeing the news article across the board. But the platform like Bloomberg or these are professional platforms basically where we get the access to the result estimates. But on the result day, let's say if results are scheduled today uh, for any company, if you'll just Google it, result expectations, you'll find the estimates or expectations at least on that day of the result itself. Okay, and like what we have shared about banking as a sector, obviously ICICI is being a big name within this space. HDFC is trying to stabilize. Kotak has done well. So its performance is going to be critical. But the last week, like what we've shared about ICICI Bank, that slipped below its major averages. So it's not a good sign before the numbers. So let's say, assuming that it posts inline numbers or slightly better than the expectation, we could see an uptick, but a substantial surge seems unlikely as of now, considering the market tone is negative. So one needs to be cautious, especially if the view is short term across the pack, including banking. Okay, next we have Mithilesh Kumar on IT sector. So yes, IT, like what I've shared during the presentation itself, that one sector wherein I feel that post the results, because major results, they are over, they are behind us, and after the initial reaction to the numbers, most of the stocks are also witnessing, trying to you know witness recovery. So this is a definitely a positive sign. The sector is also trading closer to its record high. So this all are the ingredients that possibly IT can be the next outperformer in this recent recovery, in the coming recovery, and in the next leg of the bull run also. So IT definitely looks positive in both short, medium, and long-term perspective. Okay, next we have Ayush Srivastav on pharma sector. So pharma is a mixed bag at present, because you'll see one stock, holding strong or inching higher. Uh, just to give an example, Biocon is trading strong, Granules is holding strong. But at the same time, Dr. Reddy's post numbers slipped sharply. Cipla also ended on a negative note today. So there's a possibility that this kind of pressure may continue in the stocks wherein we are seeing underperformance. So see, the best way in a market like this, how you should judge whether which stock I should pick or avoid or look for short trades. Once you identify the sector that, this sector is something that I like, let's say for long trades, look for the stock which are trading closer to its, 52-week high or record high. So it means that people are not shorting them. It's still holding strong. There is a possibility, yes, in the last leg of the sell-off, we may see some profit taking there also. But most of the cases, it's likely to outperform in the next leg of the year. So same hold true for across the board. This is the way one should align their, means if you are preparing over the weekend, how should I align my trades for the next week? This can be one exercise wherein you identify sector and then top performer, top losers, and just see, and there are multiple websites wherein you can just go and check the price charts and see whether the stock is trading closer to its highs or lows. Cipla is currently witnessing pressure within the pharma space, so there's a possibility of underperformance. Okay, there is a question on power stocks. So we usually avoid stock-specific queries, but we can answer about energy pack as a whole. So here also we are seeing that there's a mixed trend, but majority of the stocks are under pressure within the space. So I would rather suggest that if you have short-term trading position, be very strict with your stop losses, because power as a space usually witness volatile swings, both on upside and downside. So avoid adding to your loss making. See, in this market, there's one thing which I would like to share with everyone here is do not add to your loss-making positions. Just because that they have fallen 10%, 20%, in a week's time. So it's a good time that until unless you know what you are buying, means you have made investments and uh, you feel that those stocks were good at these levels, uh, and it's not fundamental related any uh, price action is just a market specific pressure that the stock has been experiencing, it is fine to add. But if there's earning related issues, so you'll see a long list this week, because mid cap and small cap is a long list wherein stocks slipped around 25 to 30%. And there was some of the names which were among the best performing names in the recent past. Just to name a few, like stock like Trent, Oberoi Reality, Dixon, Polycab. So the idea is if you are trading short-term trading and if you get stuck at certain level, so adding to your losses is not going to help you in short run. In fact, it might uh, aggravate your problems. Means usually in the correction, especially in the mid cap and small cap, 5-10% kind of a single day down move is completely fine. So do not add to your loss making position. This is something that I strongly recommend, especially the stocks which are witnessing free fall, right? Adding to your winners, definitely. And if you are confident about businesses and they are just seeing market related correction, definitely you can go and add. So Riha has this question, which sector you are bullish on the long term horizon? So IT is one, other is banking. So IT definitely has the upper hand, considering that we have uh, positive clues from the global markets as well. But other than IT, like one sector wherein we can see outperformance in 1 year time horizon, that could be banking. Selectively, yes, there could be themes like, every now and then we'll continue to see some buying interest. But these are the two key sectors that which has the maximum weight also in the index, wherein one should be focusing on accumulation quality stock during this correction. So likewise, just to add to this, means if we are seeing correction in banking index or banking stocks, large cap IT, banking names, it's an opportunity, by the way, to look to accumulate quality names. Those who are trading short term, they should not get carried away that my trading position should now become an investment. This shouldn't be the case. If you are actually making any fresh investment, it's basically the time now you should add to your positions if you are an investor. ट्रेडर को ये लिबर्टी नहीं होता है कि वो अपनी लॉस को ऐड करे, बट इन्वेस्टर्स के लिए डेफिनेटली इट्स अ गुड थिंग. Okay, so next, Neha, is the questions. As we all know that markets are experiencing correction right now, what is the outlook for the budget? So budget definitely, Neha, is an important event wherein participants are eyeing two major things. One, that how the government is going to boost the consumption. Means again, it's going to be the same way that they did in the past by increasing their spend, infra spends, and that ultimately results in jobs and boosting the economy. Or the other way around, that by uh, giving more money in the hand of the ultimate uh, individual. So that we have to see. At the same time, the positivity just on the basis of this seems unlikely because earning is basically the main key. So budget is definitely an important event, but basis this only on the basis of budget, Like, yeah, in case if they go ahead and announce something, let's say uh, they cut the long-term capital gain tax or something like that, means that might change the sentiments altogether. Uh, but otherwise, everything which is covered in budget is long-term in nature, so it's not going to impact the sentiments. There could be a knee-jerk reaction, positive, negative, the same day, but sustained move. We need to have something significantly, which can impact the sentiments for the long term. So, in case if we hear something on that from, let's say, long-term capital gain or something like that, then there could be a strong reaction. Otherwise, the stone might continue. Okay, oil and gas space is basically energy, like as in fact, as an entire basket is under pressure. So be it OMCs, but yes, in some of these names, some of the distributors and transmitters, they are holding strong, but uh, aggressive again. Like I would recommend that the easy way to find out that while most of the names are under pressure and inching lower, you'll find certain stocks which are trading closer to their 52-week high or record highs. So if you are looking for long trades in oil and gas space, stick with the performers. This is the easy way out. Okay, next we have Benjamin on cement sector. Right. So cement this week was definitely among the buzzing names of late, and Ultratech, JK Cement, ACC, Ambuja, they have all done well. But within this space, wherein we see strength, uh, that's Dalmia, Ultratech. Yeah, these are some of the names wherein we are seeing strength. Rest of the name, they are also likely to catch up with the move. But yes, this space looks okay. I would rather say that after IT, if very short term, if somebody is having a view, then cement can offer you uh, potential candidates for a swing trade, means a week, 10 days kind of a time horizon. You may have, you can selectively approach cement for the long trades. All right. What to avoid? So mid cap, small cap, I still feel that, like if you see today that Nifty is down 0.5%, but your portfolio is down 10%, it's just because that mid cap and small cap stocks are winning the pressure. So there, one should definitely maintain extra caution. You should not get carried away. Like I've said, adding to your losses and waiting for some miracle is something one should refrain until and unless you know the business and you are adding for some reason, right? So mid cap and small cap, you should be extra cautious, and in fact, you can iteratively avoid until you know that what stock you are buying and what is your stop losses. Being very strict with your stop losses is something that I strongly recommend in broad analysis. So yeah, with this we have answered all the queries. Thank you, Mr. Surendra, for the feedback. And so again, I would say that it's just a phase, and it's a good phase to if you are an investor, because we are seeing correction. But those who are trading, please don't mix trading with investment, right? So be clear when you enter the trade that this is where I should exit, and keep your position size low in case if you're not confident about any trade. Keep your position size low and stick with the performers. Means, uh, those who are falling like nine pins is something that you should avoid catching the falling knives. Okay. So with this, we end the session. So next week, uh, is not going to be the session day because last, so we may have a rollover report webinar, and but yes, we'll post our video uh, on our social platform. So there you can go and check our view on markets. So Religare Online on both YouTube, Instagram, you can just go and check our videos. Till then, take care. Thank you everyone for participating. We can